Good morning, class. Today we will tackle about motor behavior. Do you have any idea what is motor behavior? Anyone? Raise your right hand if you want to answer. Don't answer in chorus. Okay, Janica. Very good. Class, let's give Janica 3 claps. Class, motor behavior is the study of how we produce movements. Types of movements includes walking, running, balance, reflexes, reaching, and grasping. The psychological and neurophysiological investigations of motor behavior are divided into 3 disciplines: the motor control, motor development, and motor learning. Now, let's proceed to motor control. Do you have any idea what is motor control? Okay, Ivan. Very good. Class, let's give Ivan 3 claps too. Class, motor control can be defined as a study of how an individual can execute designated motor skills through the neuromuscular control process in response to external environmental demands. For example, a race car driver's brain activities include quickly processing external information, seeing the opponent's car, to find an open space through which to get ahead of the others and achieve success. Now let's proceed to motor development. Do you have any idea what is motor development? Okay, Micah. Very good. Class, let's give Micah 3 claps too. Now, motor development refers to the development of child's bones, muscles, and ability to move around and manipulate his or her environment. The motor development can be divided into 2 sections: gross motor development and fine motor development. Gross motor development involves the development of large muscles in the child's body. These muscles allows us to sit, stand, walk, and run, among other activities, while the fine motor development involves the small muscles of the body, especially the hand. The typical development of child's motor skills usually follows a predictable order or sequence. The first sequence development occurs from the inner body to the outer body. This means that children usually develop or gain control over their arms before they develop or gain control over their fingers. And the second sequence develop all start from top to bottom. Children need to control their head first, then they will gain control over their leg and feet. Now, let's proceed to motor learning. Do you have any idea what is motor learning? No one? Okay. Class, motor learning has been defined as a set of internal processes associated with practice or experiences leading to relatively permanent changes in the capability of skilled behavior. There are 3 stages in which motor learning occurs: the cognitive stage, the associative stage, and the autonomous stage. Cognitive stage. During this initial stage of motor learning, the goal is to develop an overall understanding of the skill. The learner must determine what the objective of the skill is and begin to process environmental factors that will affect their ability to produce the skill. Example: Before your child masters walking, they will most likely look a bit awkward and will definitely stumble a few times. The reality is that the process of learning how to walk begins way before your child actually takes their first assisted or independent step, as they have been visually observing others around them walking and beginning to understand the purpose. So while they may look clumsy during this stage of learning, they are only just beginning of transition from understanding the skill to executing it. Associative stage. During this stage, the learner begins to demonstrate a more refined movement through practice. Now that the learner has some practice and has identified various stimuli that may occur, they can focus on how to do, moving on from the what to do in the first stage. The more practice, the better. Example, let's continue the walking. During the initial clumsy stage, your child may demonstrate small, choppy steps, wide base of support, arms up high in a guarded position, and little to no trunk rotation. This behavior indicates that your child has moved past the initial stage of learning and has progressed to a more refined movement. The last stage is autonomous stage. Progression to this level of learning allows the learner to perform the skill in any environment with very little cognitive involvement compared to the first stage. Example, your child will now be able to walk in a predictable environment such as your home, or any unpredictable environment such as a crowded birthday party at the park on a grass without difficulty. Keep in mind that the learning process can take different lengths of time for every individual, and progression can be dependent on a variety of factors such as motivation of the learner, feedback received, environmental stimuli, organization of practice, and the presence of neuromuscular impairments. That's all for today, and please study because we will be having a long quiz next meeting. Goodbye, class!